Hello everyone, my name is Kevin. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing the Survivor Series 2020 predictions, the best of the best, as it is being stupidly said. Sadly, NXT TakeOver War Games was not the day before. It feels really weird not having the takeover before the pay-per-view still, so hopefully very soon we'll be able to actually enjoy takeovers before the pay-per-views again, and also enjoy a much easier pay-per-view schedule for WWE and for the fans as well. But obviously this does add some things. This is also going to be the final farewell for The Undertaker, which I'm very sad and excited to see at the same time. The Undertaker has been a huge part of wrestling for my entire life. I'm 22. I've been alive a lot less time than he's been wrestling. But it's still one of those things of, it's just kind of sad to not be able to see The Undertaker wrestle anymore. To know that he's given so much to this business. I'm very happy he gets to retire and go enjoy the rest of his life that he has left. And yeah. So we're going to start with a dual brand battle royal. There is no participants currently announced. But obviously it's going to have, it being dual brand, it's going to have people from Raw and people from SmackDown. Jesse and I have both gone for Lars Sullivan. Obviously, not knowing who is going to be in the Battle Royal makes it kind of tough to decide who's going to win it, but you can kind of look at the people that might be a big possibility. Lars Sullivan is one of them. They're kind of seeming like they're still trying to give him a big push, and we were looking up, like, okay, trying to figure out if there's any participants announced. And one of the places we went to had said they had their prediction as Lars Sullivan, and I fully do think that Lars Sullivan's a very big possibility of winning the Battle Royal because it's Lars Sullivan. And again, like I said, their push for him mostly is beat up random jobbers and then say random shit. He hasn't been on SmackDown for a while, so it's kind of weird to think he might be it. But other than him, the only other person I can really see winning this is Big E. So yeah, basically we just gotta go and hope that we figure out who, obviously once we get to the show, we'll figure out who's in it, and I'll run down the participants for you guys as best as I can. But yeah, next we have the, I'm just gonna go upwards now from where I read this. So next we have the WWE Champion versus the Universal Champion, singles match. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. We have both gone for Roman Reigns. Now, the reason we've both gone for Roman is because Drew just got the title back. And I'm not saying that Drew doesn't deserve the win. He does. Don't get me wrong. Drew deserves to get as many wins as he can, considering he lost the title at Hell in a Cell and only just got it back last Monday. However, Roman's heel run right now is very dominant. He has not lost since returning to the WWE a couple months ago at SummerSlam, and I think him losing here makes no real sense story-wise. I feel like their big thing right now is build him up as much as we can so he's a dominant force, and it's not to say that Drew doesn't deserve the win. Drew's great. Drew's awesome. He's fantastic in the ring. He's a great champion. He's great on the mic, but he can take this loss and bounce back from it. If they're trying to build up Roman as this unstoppable, super dominant heel, him losing this match kills all that credibility. He's gone to war with his cousin multiple times, and then, Drew McIntyre kicks his head off. No, you can't have that. You got to have it be Drew McIntyre sadly takes the L in his first match after regaining the championship. But again, it's not a championship match. It's just a singles match between the two champions. So I think him losing this makes a little bit more sense than Roman losing it. Especially because most likely Paul, potentially the Usos, are going to be out there during Roman's match. So there's probably going to be a little bit of shenanigans. Randy could make himself involved. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if The Rock made himself involved in some way during this match. So we'll see where it goes from here for this match. But I'm very excited for this one. Next, we have the Women's Championship singles match. We have Asuka versus Sasha Banks, brand versus brand, Raw versus SmackDown Women's Championship. We have both gone for Asuka. Asuka and Sasha have both traded a few wins to each other. Sasha beat Asuka earlier this year for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka then beat her to get it back. And then Sasha, obviously, her feud with Bayley culminated in Sasha winning the championship and retaining it. Good job, Sasha. I think Asuka winning this makes more sense, though. Again, it's just a situation of I think Sasha could take the loss, especially since she's got her feud with Carmella kind of starting up. So if she takes this loss via Carmella in some way getting involved, maybe her music or her Titantron playing, whatever, I think it'd be a legitimate way for her to lose without making her look super weak if she got distracted by Carmella or something and lost the match. I'm also very much predicting a Carmella beatdown after this match, because she did attack Sasha on SmackDown, so I could definitely see her attacking her again tonight. Next, we have the Raw versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. We have the New Day versus the Street Profits, the people who just a month ago traded the titles to each other after the draft. We have both gone for the New Day, looking mostly towards Big E potentially getting involved, or even potentially a situation where the Street Profits just can't beat the New Day. I mean, the New Day are one of the most winning tag teams in WWE for a reason, and I definitely think that the New Day winning this, while it's not super needed, obviously the Street Profits winning this makes sense because, they are the younger tag team. It'd be Kofi and Woods giving back to the next generation wrestlers, even though they're not that different in age. But I definitely think the New Day winning this just seems like it's the better option. They're kind of seen as separated now because the New Day, Woods and Kofi, are on Raw while Big E stayed on SmackDown, and it's just so yeah, it definitely seems like they're gonna keep the New Day, trying to make them look dominant and like they still have that power to them without Big E there, especially if Big E gets involved. If Big E gets involved, it kind of makes it a little bit weirder because trying to say they're gonna make them look like they have power without Big E there, and then he gets involved. But it would be a nice thing if Big E goes down there and then he's stuck between, do I do what's best for my brand and help the Street Profits win in some way, or just don't get involved, or do I stick by my friends? Do I stick by the people who have been with me for the last what's it been, 6-7 years? No, 5 years, whatever, however long they've been a tag team, however long they've been stable, or do I stick by them and help the New Day retain, or just don't get involved, or win, or don't get involved? You know what I mean? It's definitely one of those things where I think they can have a story play out of this, because he's been interacting with the Street Profits backstage for the past couple of weeks, talking trash between the Street Profits and him. So definitely seems like they have an idea of what they want to do with this, and maybe his allegiances will be called into question. Maybe somehow he'll help one team beat the other, or he'll not get involved, because they had a segment on SmackDown where the Street Profits and the New Day faced Corbin, Sami Zayn, and then Ziggler and Rude, and Big E didn't come down at all. He stayed in the back. He didn't come down to help them when they were getting beaten down. Nothing. So it seems like maybe they're having him kind of questioning, he's kind of questioning what he should be doing here in this situation. Again, it seems like they don't know what the hell they're doing with Big E anymore. It seems like they're kind of taking his push away that he was seemingly about to get. And if that's the case, that's kind of shit. It's stupid. It's boring. I think that's really dumb, in my opinion. Big E's great, and you separated the New Day for what at this point? If he doesn't get a push, what was the point in separating the New Day and keeping Big E on SmackDown and putting Kofi and Woods on Raw? Because yeah. Next, we have the United States Champion versus the Intercontinental Champion. We have Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. No questions here. We both took Bobby Lashley. Their feud when Bobby came back was crap, and I'm not really looking forward to kind of reliving any part of that. I think Sami has potential to win this. I'm not going to say Sami's definitely not going to win this. There's potential, but I see the Hurt Business being out there, and the Hurt Business seems like it's a big way for Sami to kind of get distracted and end up, things not going well for him. I could definitely see Retribution getting involved and costing Bobby the match, so Sami ends up winning. So it's basically back and forth, and it's more or less down to who do you see getting involved and who do you see playing the bigger factor. Obviously, the Hurt Business will get involved in some way, but the question is, will Retribution get involved at all? Hurt Business will be down there with him. We already can kind of gather that much, but Retribution, there's no guarantee they'll show up. I mean, yeah, they've had problems with Lashley and the Hurt Business for the last couple months, but like, why bring them out if they don't really need to be there? And I feel like that's what they're probably going to do, is they're just going to keep them out. They might have them have a small distraction at some point, but I definitely still see Lashley winning this, getting the Hurt Lock in on Sammy and making Sammy tap out. Next, we have the 5-on-5 Women's Survivor Series match. We have Team Raw, which consists of Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, the Women's Tag Team Champions, even though I don't expect them to have the titles for much longer. Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans, Lana, after Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose were taken out with injuries. I know Mandy's was actually a real injury. Dana's, I think, was just storyline. Versus Team SmackDown, which consists of Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Natalya. We've both gone for Team SmackDown. Of the two matches, this one seems the most likely for Team SmackDown to win because, like, yeah, there's a little bit of animosity here, but you gotta look at the talent they have. They have Bianca Belair, who is fucking great. They have the tag team of the Riott Squad, who is not just a thrown-together tag team and has been tagging for a long time. You have Bayley, the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion in SmackDown history, and you have Natalya. Okay, so they have one weak link. I'm not going to say Natalya's the boat because I think it's a stupid fucking nickname. I think her whole gimmick right now is fucking stupid. So I definitely think that with the caliber of people they have, I think they have the better chance, especially because there's been a lot of infighting between Team Raw. I mean, Mandy was taken out by Shayna and Nia. Dana was taken out by Retribution. Peyton and Lacey just got randomly added to the team, and Lana has been put through a table 9 weeks in a row by Nia Jax. I'm calling it right now. She's going to get put through the table on tonight, most likely, and probably tomorrow night as well, and probably the week after. Look, it's been kind of boring to watch. It's weird to watch. Like, it's funny at first, and then it just gets sad. So, yeah, but I feel like the Sole Survivors are most likely going to be either Bianca, Bayley, Liv, or Ruby, maybe a combination of the four. I don't think Natalya is going to last. I think somehow she's going to get out quick or just get out in general, and then I think one of those four women or a combination of those last four women will be the Sole Survivors. Most likely what I'm kind of thinking is probably Bianca's going to be Sole Survivor, or Liv and Ruby are going to be Sole Survivors. Bayley doesn't really need it. If she gets eliminated by, say, Shayna taking a cheap shot or getting her into the submission, who knows? It's very possible. But I think Bianca has the biggest reason to be the Sole Survivor. I think they're trying to give her a good push, and I think, yeah, get her the Sole Survivor spot and get her into a program at some point for the championship. I think she deserves it. And finally, we have the men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. We have AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle, because they had to change his name, representing Team Raw. And on SmackDown, we have Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and Otis. Now, we've both taken Team Raw in this one, and it's because of basically the same reason we took Team SmackDown in the women's. There's a lot of fighting going on. Technically, there's a lot of fighting going on between both teams. I could definitely see neither team winning this and it just being a double countout to end, which would be fucking so stupidly funny, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Team SmackDown's going to lose this one because Kevin Owens and Jey Uso are kind of feuding. King Corbin is an asshole and nobody likes him. Seth and Otis are sort of feuding. I expect Seth to be hurt in this match, and the reason I do it in air quotes is because Seth is going to take time off to go be with Becky so she can give birth to their child. Congrats to Seth and Becky, and also congrats to Jon Moxley / Jonathan Good and Renee Young, as they are also expecting a child. All three Shield members had a child or have announced or are having a child in 2020, so that's pretty cool. John and Renee just announced it. Seth and Becky are about to have theirs, and Roman, when he was taking his time off, it wasn't just because of his leukemia, it was also because of family stuff. His wife was pregnant with twins, and she gave birth earlier this year while he was taking time off from WWE. But yeah, Team Raw, I think most probable people to be the Sole Survivor, Keith Lee, Riddle, Strowman. Very possible for them to be Sole Survivors. I really hope they don't do what Strowman did a few years ago, where they had the thing with Triple H, where Triple H screwed Shane or whatever, or screwed somebody off Team Raw and then pinned Shane, and Strowman went up to him and backed him in the corner and yelled at him, and Triple H's eyes were like bugging out of his fucking head, and then they went nowhere with that because they canceled that storyline. I really hope that they actually do something good with whoever the sole survivor is this year for both sides of for both the men's and the women's, regardless of who wins. I think sole survivor should be a bigger thing now. Like, there should be something to surviving, to being the winners of Survivor Series. Like when Jesse and I do it, we decide who gets, a certain thing during our draft. That's how Survivor Series is. We have a decision made because of Survivor Series. We have a match at WrestleMania that also gives us another decision. It's one of those things. So, yeah. But yeah, that's it for Survivor Series 2020 predictions, you guys. I will see you guys probably tomorrow to do the review. Let me know what your guys' predictions are down in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Stay golden. Peace.